Hello, hello. Welcome back. This is Amy from Seriously Sweet on Davis Street. We're going to do a quick product reveal. We were just on with you for part 2 of our day 1 of our summer series, Tiki Hot. I have the texting information up here for you. If you want to sign up for our free text service, you can text the word live stream to 540-870-0726. I hope I said all that right, but if not, what's on the screen is correct. So text us, get signed up on the list. Hello, everybody. How much fun is this? Don't you all just love it when you get new items in? Okay, so total disclosure here. We have all been enabling each other quite a lot over on the new group, the new group, Cookie Snack Attack was Seriously Sweet. We have been sharing lots of sale information. You know, it's summertime, so a lot of these companies have fabulous deals. I am not sponsored by any of these people. I am not opposed to being sponsored by some of these people. If some of you want me to demo a product, you can just send it to my store and I'll pop on and do a product reveal or a box reveal for you. But everything that I have shown you so far is items that I actually purchased because I use them or I need them for an upcoming product. Nadine, if you are on here with me, order the STL files from Dots and Bows and have them printed. It'll be a lot cheaper since you're in Canada than having them shipped. I just saw your message, but I don't know if you're back on here yet. So anyway, you guys, everything that I'm showing you is stuff I actually purchased. I'll be using it in my own business. But from one enabler to another, God bless you. Hope your checking account is not bone dry yet, but the sales are pretty incredible right now. Not to mention the fact that they had Amazon Prime Day yesterday or over the weekend plus today. Did anybody get in on that Ann Clark cookie cutter sale where the sets were 50% off? It's not that I don't have that many Ann Clark sets already. It's just that I needed a few more. So just saying. So let's jump right in. This is what I ordered from, oh, Barbie, good. You just, let me say hello to a few people. Hello, Miss Michelle. How are you tonight? I see Miss Debbie has made her way back again. Thank you. Hi, Barbie. Hi, Gwen. Hello. One enabler to another. Okay, and then we have a Facebook user back that says hi there. I don't know if that's my friend Jen from Canada or not, but if it is, hello. If it's not, I'll see you when I go back and look at the Facebook comments, okay? Hello there from Rhode Island. How are you tonight? Nadine, did you hear my comment? Don't order the actual physical cutters because I think you have someone that can print for you. You can order the whole set of STL files for the Tiki Hot series. You can get all of them at a discounted price by buying the package. Plus, you can use that SS Class 10 discount to get 10% off. And that way you can just have them printed there and you won't have to do the shipping and all that, okay? And I'll message you after we jumped off. And oh, good, Barbie, you got the files too? Okay, cool. I have a friend in the local area that is learning how to use her 3D printer. And she actually went through the process and designed her own cutter by herself. Now, she's going to be giving me a lot of garbage next week because my 3D printer is still in the box. And Nancy Westfall, if you're watching this, please forgive me. It's not that you're not a fabulous teacher or that I didn't understand the video. It's just that life happened and lots of things have been going on in the business since COVID started, basically, right? So there's going to be a link over on Facebook right there where you can jump over and find those things. Let's get here. Okay, so it's under the specialty cutters over there. I hope you're blowing up their, I hope you're blowing up Dots and Bows ordering tonight so that they know I've released the series. They were so great. Took my designs and made the cutters so fast. I mean, they're super fast. If you need something custom done, those are your ladies. They will hook you up over there. Hello there. Hello. Hey, Sheila, you're back. Oh, good. You got your, got to see the creative cookie or silk screen. I don't have mine yet, but when I get it, I'm going to demo that along with the metal mesh that's coming from Cookie Countess. We're going to look at both of those. This is your class code for the cookie cutters that we're going to be using for the whole series of Tiki Hot that we're doing this summer on Tuesdays on 2-part tutorial Tuesday. Let's see. No, Nadine, if Jen, do me a favor, Jen, if you're on here, please go find the specific link to the STL files and post that on the Facebook page so Nadine can just click that live link. You don't have to be part of her monthly group because this is cutters I designed that they're making for me. So they're actually under the specialty section. I forget what it says at the top, but it's the specialty, and then you go into the seriously sweet class, and you'll have the cutters that I've done for previous classes. Plus, if you're on there, go ahead and if you think you're going to want to take that unicorn class that I'm doing a 3D unicorn, like a pull behind toy later in the year. If you want to go ahead and order that while you're on there, if you're having cutters shipped, they put that in there for me too, and the class code will be good on that as well. Okay. So this, yes, this is the one I think, and it'll take you right to the STL files. Thank you so much, John. I appreciate your help. She's so great to help me from afar with all of this info. Okay, let's jump into Killer Zebras because I did open this. I opened the package, but I haven't opened the package. You know what I'm saying? So let's see. Oh, and look, I did want to show you this too. I wrote on the back, so disregard my handwriting because that's the number to sign up for texting. But isn't this package cool? Let me go up here, you guys, and take this coffee shop banner off and take the ticker off because that's all at the beginning of the video if you need to go back. But look how cool this is. Hello, gorgeous. I just imagine my British friends saying that in their accent. I don't do the accent very well, but I can have a little fun. It's 9 o'clock on Tuesday, so why not? Hey, Miss Priscilla, I'm so glad you made it. So this is my package that came from Killer Zebra. All right, let's see what's in here. Let's bake good things together. Love this. I love how all the cookie companies all have cute things like this in their package because it just makes me happy when I open it. And let's face it, who can't use a little extra happy right now? Thank you for your purchase. Can't wait to see what you create. Make sure you follow and tag me so we can celebrate your creations together. That's how I feel about this. If you make the cookies from any of the tutorials, whatever social media you share them on, please tag it back to me. Please make sure that I see it. Send me photos. It makes my teacher heart so happy. So this is their Facebook information, Instagram, and Pinterest. I am not on Pinterest. I'm not sure I'm going to take on another platform at this point. I'm having a scheduled time to keep up with Facebook and the YouTube channel and the Instagram and my coffee shop right now. So I'll get those all down to where they're working real smoothly. I also need to update my website, seriouslysweetcupcakes.com, so that you'll be able to get all the older classes on there as well. So that's what I'm working on right now. She's also got care information here for you for cuddles. You see, it's late. I'm getting tongue twisted. So we've got cutter and stencil care info here, which is fabulous, but that's not what I ordered from them. I can't wait to show you this. Oh, look, this is how I cut carbs, and you can see it's a cookie cutter. So I have a cookie notebook that I sketch ideas in, put little handy tips. Like, for instance, when COVID first started and everybody started doing medical cookies and we needed that perfect scrub color. So I have how to make that perfect turquoise for the medical scrubs. So anytime I get something like that I think I'm not going to use this often, but it's quite perfect, I make a note in that little notebook so I can go back and grab that. So I put my stickers. That's where I was circling back to with this. I put all my fun stickers and where they came from in the notebook whenever I get a new product in. Okay, so I'm not going to show you this because it's my build. Although I did do very well because I got all molds. And the reason I got these molds is because I know what's coming up for our Tiki Hot Summer series that we're doing. And you can hear all about that in the last video. Oh, so I did order one stencil, I guess. Let's flip this over and see what I ordered. Ta-da! Look at that. How fun is that? Okay. Oh, no, I remember seeing this. This was a free one. Let me look on here how they worded it so I say it right. Okay, so I got a free mini, but I don't know if it's because I hit a certain dollar amount or if they just do that with certain orders. But how cute is this? And Sally, if you're on here, you're going to want this to go with your collection of bee stencils. This is so cute. You could use this for a bee or a ladybug. I think this is technically like a latte stencil. You know, you'd put it over the top of a glass, do the powdered sugar, and you'd have that on top of your beverage. but I would just use some extra stencil material and cut it into my 5x5 or 6x6, and then put this in the center, and I would use this on my cookies because it's just so stinking cute. Isn't that pretty? I love it. Thank you very much, Killer Zebra, for my free mini stencil. I love it. I will be using it because I really like to do the bees and the ladybugs and all of that. So that is one that I will get to use right away. And it says, you can do hard things. You are right. We can do hard things. That's why we are all learning. Look at this. Love this. Okay, so I'll make these up and come back and show you. And I'm going to use my list off here to the side. So I believe that this is the small, and don't mind this, it's just where the blue ink exploded on me earlier today. I believe I'm going to go ahead and take these out of the bags. I don't like to leave these in the bags. And it's harder for you to see on camera, so I might as well do it while we're here together. So I believe this is the small Plumeria mold. So it's the perfect size. Hey, Miss Linda, it's the perfect size for cookies, right? Here's the trick with using the fondant molds. I have tons of them because I use them for cupcake toppers and on cakes. So over the years, I've amassed a big collection of them. When I started doing cookies, I had to go back, and obviously the ones that were like 6 inches by 12 inches, these were not things that I could use on cookies. So I just kind of put them off to the side, moved on, got different other smaller things. However, what I have realized is that in my mind, a lot of those stencils are kind of cataloged for different little segments within the fondant molds, not stencils, but the fondant molds. And so I will go back and use just a little area of one of those great big things to make like a fancy corner piece for a frame on a cookie. If I'm doing a picture frame or a award certificate, and I want something, I go pull out like one of my big molds that you can bake in, and maybe I just pull out the corner detail. So if you have fondant molds, I would encourage you to go back to the ones, even if you think they're too large for cookies, right? Don't buy a whole new set of itty bitty minis, but go back to your other ones and see if you just did a little area of that fondant mold. How can you make that work on a cookie? Hi, Ira. How are you doing? Yes, that is Sally, the biochemist, Sally. And Sally, if you've come back on with us, put your blog post in here, please. If not, Debbie, her blog post is in the day 1 part 2 video that we just finished up a little bit ago, okay? I'm not patient enough to undo the top of these bags. I love that they come in these bags. However, I am not patient enough to open that top. So now let's see what this one is. Okay, so I believe I have the small Plumeria mold. And then I think this is the Hibiscus mold, the flowers that we just learned how to pipe. So this is one you might want to consider getting if you're going to do the Tiki Hot series. It's not probably going to be on one of your supply lists because I tried to keep things condensed so you didn't have a whole lot of shipping. But I'll show you what this looks like in case you're more comfortable doing this rather than piping the royal icing transfer templates, okay? So let's see. This one's a little bit larger in size. I think this is the large hibiscus. This is really pretty. These are going to be great. So what I'm going to do is color some fondant tomorrow. I'll probably do all of these in hot pink, and then I'll pop them out and take a picture next to the mold they came out of so that you can decide. And look, you guys know I have the cupcake shop, right? So I thought when I saw this, how stinking cute is this? I have a wonderful, you like my sprinkle wall? I love my sprinkle wall. I thought how cute this would be for a special Christmas project that I'm working on, to have a whole bunch of these made up for a little 3D table that I'm doing. So that's as much as I'm going to tell you. But let's just say it's candy themed. Why wouldn't it be? It's from me, right? You guys know glitter, candy, multimedia, a little sculpting here, a little fondant mold there. So this is, I believe, this is the peony mold, and it is very detailed. I can't wait to see what this looks like in person, but look at that. So pretty. All right, so you can see, I'm going to put these here so you can see the difference in the sizes. So that was the first one we opened. You can see how small it is, and then it graduates to that size, right? So you can see, and I'll try to keep the others right here. This is the largest one in here, And this is a tulip mold. I don't think this is the tulip mold, though. It doesn't look like a tulip. I think this is the ruffle flower mold. So all of these were $3.50 or less. None of them were over $3.50, but I'm not sure. Again, I'm not sure if that was a sale price. I just, someone told me about one mold that was on here that I would like for a flower cookie that I'm working on, right? And then I saw them and they were all very affordable and I was already paying shipping. So of course I threw a few more things in the cart, but look at that. Isn't that pretty? So that's the largest one in here. Oh, and then I got this too. Do you guys do a lot of wedding cookies? Because you always need bows on wedding cookies or the top of cake pops, or if you do the big letters, if you do a name. Charlotte, I'm totally helping your addiction again. If you're on Facebook, let me just show you Charlotte's comment. This is so true. I am doing a product reveal for Killer Zebra. I'm not sponsored by them. I just ordered some product from them for some projects. And I am totally enabling you again tonight to go check out their site. Whenever they get their fondant molds back in, they sell out right away. So enabler alert, enabler alert. I feel like I should have that, what's that sound that goes wah, wah, wah? You know, I feel like I should have that in the background of these videos, like screaming, blasting, and neon lights flashing before I start telling you about this stuff, because you got to know it's coming, right? Okay, so anyway, top of your cake toppers, or if you do the stand-up letters where you make a child's name to have the cookies on display for a party, I decided to get this bow in because it's a very rounded bow. A lot of my bows have like deep impressions in them and they're real thin where the center joins the bow part, where this knot part joins this. This one is really deep and I've got over an 1/8 inch before coming to the top of the mold. So I thought this might solve my breakage problem by doing this. I will tell you though, since it is just one and I typically work in dozens, this was pretty inexpensive. It was like $3 or something. So let me actually look while I'm telling you that. Well, is it even on here? I'm pretty sure it is. Ruffle. Sweet bow. Okay, so this was the most expensive one. It was $3.75. So if this works out and sets up the way I want and it works with modeling chocolate and fondant, then for me, reselling things, making things for sale, having the shop, it's going to be worth it for me to get several of these so I can make several at a time, right? Because what I do when I do it with fondant or modeling chocolate is I don't put it in and then pull it right out. I usually pull it in and let it sit for just a second and I'll work on 2 or 3 more. Then I'll come back and it gives it just a little bit of time for everything to become cohesive again. So you can see these are the same size. These are the 2 largest. There's one more large in this dark blue. This one for sure, it has a number on the bag. I love it when you guys number your stuff, by the way, the merchants, when the stuff comes in from the vendors and it actually has a product number, it's super helpful. However, I don't see that number on this invoice, but I know that this is the large tulip. And I ordered this one because I have the little the mold that has 3 baby tulips in it. And I wanted this so that I could have multiple sizes. This is the first time I've seen this one, but I wanted to have multiple sizes so that I can create depth on my cookie canvas when I'm creating my tulip fields next spring. So I've already passed the time of year where I'll use this, but maybe it won't come out again next year. Pretty inexpensive. So I went ahead and picked one up. So let's do this. All right, we have 2 more to look at in here, and then we're going to look at stencils, because why shouldn't you look at stencils on a Tuesday night at 9:17 Eastern time? So much fun. All right, this is really cute, and I will make all of these up and put a photo up so you can see what they look like. I think that this is the... This might be the peony mold, but you know, there's so much detail in there. I'm going to have to make it and pop it out. Let's see. Do you use multiple colored fondant or do you paint them all? Okay. So Jen, if I'm going to be doing gold accents with these fondant molds, then I use the gold food gel and dye a bunch of it. I use the food gel from Hobby Lobby where it's just not metallic gold, but the gold color. So the undercolor can be painted with the TMP or with the Sugar Art Gold. So yes, I might make up a bunch. I also like to do a lot of these in white and then come back and dry dust on them, or use the gels diluted with Everclear once the fondant is really dry. If you're going to do it in modeling chocolate, then you're going to have to use a totally different product that you're able to paint on chocolate with. Poppy paint is what I use on the chocolate. I don't have many of those, but I have a few in. This is the whole thing that started this order. This one that I'm showing you last. This is a baby palm leaf. So for one of the signs that's coming up in the Tiki Hot Summer series that we started today through Cookie Snack Attack with Seriously Sweet, we've had our first 2-part tutorial Tuesday today with the first thing from that set. This I wanted to use as we get further down when we're doing our signs. We have a chalkboard sign, and then we've got a normal sign that was supposed to look like canvas. I may turn it into a chalkboard sign, but I wanted to have another medium mixed in to my cookie canvas. So I thought this would be a good way to work in some painted fondant pieces. So this little guy caused all of this because I was already paying shipping, so why not? Again, I am not sponsored by Killer Zebra. I just wanted you guys to see this. I have several fondant molds from them. I like all of them. What's really nice about these, they are flexible, so it's easy to get your pieces out. If you're working with modeling chocolate, it's nice to pop these in the freezer for just a few minutes, and then it'll come right out. These are very flexible, so you can peel the mold back, but you don't damage it when you do that. You know, some of them are too hard. The mold itself is too hard, so you can't do this with it to get your piece popped out. So that's our Killer Zebra product reveal, okay? Now, who wants to see stencils? Me, me, me. Anybody want to see stencils? Yeah, this is true, Jen. I did. I went just for that one thing because I saw that it was back in. And then a friend of mine told me about the peony mold and said I would like that for a flower cookie. And then I was like, oh, these are so inexpensive and I'm already paying the shipping. So basically I just went until I hit another shipping category. That's what happens, you see. That's what happens. You know what happens. It happens to all of you too. Are you ready to see stencils? So funny. All right, Nadine is ready. All right, Nadine, let's go. So these are some stencil. They were on sale when Cookie Countess had that sale, I would say about a week ago. So they have this cool card in here. Order was carefully packed by Kathleen. Kathleen, thank you, because I've already checked my order and it was packed beautifully and it arrived beautifully. Fun fact, Kathleen says about herself, a movie I can watch over and over again is The Breakfast Club. Oh, this is fun. And there's about 25 to 30 people bouncing on and off. What is your favorite movie that you can watch over and over again? If you're on with me, put your favorite movie that you could watch over and over again over on the right, on the comment field, wherever that happens to be. Your favorite movie. And Kathleen may see this, and then she'll know what our favorite movies are too. So I don't know if I have one though. So I'll have to think about that. Maybe I'll put mine up later. I have to think about that a little bit. All right. So here we go. Love it. This is, let's see, is it marked in any way? And I don't see an invoice in here. I may have already taken the invoice out. Just saying, it could have happened, but I don't see it in here. I probably have it at the store and I'm at the cookie studio at the house now. So let me just go through here. This I ordered in for Christmas. Can you see it has 3 large stripes and then the little stripe? So I have a package cookie, a 3D package cookie that I'm planning for Christmas. And I thought this would be perfect for that cookie. So that's why I ordered this. This whole order, everything was on sale. Then I finally found my perfect spider web stencil. I love this. I love it. I love that I'm going to be able to use this on my tombstones. I actually have a cutter that's very, very close to this shape with the little indentions going around the cookie. You could do this if you have that cool Ann Clark Sun cookie cutter where it's even points, not the wonky one. I guess you could do it on the wonky one too. But if you have the one where it's all like evenly spaced points, you, even if it doesn't fully come as large as the stencil is, even if it's smaller, you can get that whole spider look going either with royal icing and doing the stenciling on here or with some airbrushing. but how pretty is that going to be? And so cool. I'm going to be doing, I have a couple cookies designed for Halloween that are going to have purple airbrush webs with black. It was either, I think the black Bakewell dust I just got, because it just looks so cool. So I did a purple airbrushing and then tested out that black edible glitter, and it looked awesome. So just spoiler alert, few of those coming up, right? All right. And then, isn't this pretty? I spent some time living in Florida, and shell collecting and shark's tooth collecting was a big deal where we lived. We were very close to Venice Beach in Sarasota County. So we would go to Venice and Inglewood all the time. And this is in Boca. We drive out to Boca. These are very much like the shells we would find there. So this just brought happy memory when I saw it, and it was on sale and I don't have it. So why not? I added it to my collection. Now, spent some time in Louisiana, which is where my husband is from. We have a shop there, and I'm very in love with like fleur-de-lis items. I love them. I love this whole damask look. So you can see I finally found the perfect. Yeah. Okay. So Jen is saying, let me just go back to this really quick. Okay. Hold on. So Jen is saying, I heard the Little Mermaid in my head. And then she's saying, I heard Under the Sea. Now she's hearing Mardi Gras, New Orleans, right? So funny. Okay, but this is a perfect damask print that I will be using come Valentine's Day on my boxes. This is a much finer, detailed, more ornate stencil than what I had last year when I made my cute boxes. So this is what I will be circling back, and it was on sale and I don't have it, so why not? You don't even want to know. My husband probably just rolls his eyes back when he hears that it was on sale. I didn't have it. So of course. So here we go. Here is another larger one. Now, I didn't get this one so that I could stencil the whole thing. I'm probably going to be creating stencil blockers, like to just have one of these when I do my airbrushing. So I'll probably take a second piece of stencil material and just cut out the opening for one of these, or I'll tape it off with a quick release painter's tape. But this design right here, so pretty, and it will be perfect for some background areas behind a Christmas 3D project that I have scheduled. So you see it's June and my brain's already on what I'm going to be doing to teach in different groups for Christmas, right? So anyway, got it on sale. I'll feel better about it. Look at this cool one. This is like confetti showers. Can you see that? Let me turn it. So you see, this is New Year's Eve all the way. I can see this on top of a black cookie, like a black icing, like to make the chalkboard look, but then metallic gold for the raining confetti. Isn't that gorgeous? This would also be really pretty for wedding or birthday celebrations to use on a plaque cookie cutter. This is just so beautiful though. I love it. And I love the size of the dots. And I love that there's areas where, there's overlapping dots. It's actually going to look like falling confetti. But as soon as I saw this, I was like totally using that with metallic airbrush. All right, let me see what a couple of comments real quick. Ira just bought your Cricut. You can make your own stencils. Please, Ira, don't do what I did. My 3D printer arrived and it's still in the box, and it is from before Christmas last year. So bad, but it's been crazy. I've basically readjusted my whole business, and I'm still viable at the end of, everybody coming out of COVID. So I've pulled two businesses together somehow in this last year, but God is good to me. So I just keep rolling along. Oh yes, Jen, that would be pretty on that last stencil to do purple, green, and gold for Mardi Gras. Ooh, with that damask print in the background. Oh, I can see that cookie too. So cool. So Ira, crack yours out. Send us pictures. We will try to keep you on track. All right, look at this cool fireworks stencil. Same thing. You could do this all together and kind of make each of the bursts be off the cookie. You can combine this with my patriotic cookie set and use my royal icing transfers so you get even more dimension. Like have this in the background with airbrushing, and then maybe make some of those 3D firework bursts for your 4th of July cookies. All right. So, and you can also section this off because there's 3 different sizes of fireworks. So you could do a stencil blocker, create your own stencil blocker for each of these, depending on what size your cookie is. But I also think this would be great. Now, obviously not on the cookie cutter I'm about to use, but think outside the box, okay? Let's think about a big plaque cutter that you might have, like one of the fancy shapes. It would be really pretty to place it so there's just a little bit of each of your colors, each of your bursts on the cookie, right? It doesn't have to be this actual, like get a plaque cutter and center it, right? Start thinking outside the box for some creative ways. A lot of times when I get new stencils in and I'm thinking, oh, I want to use it with this or that, I actually pull the cutter just like this. I pull it and start running it around the stencils and then flipping the stencil and seeing what I see, right? Because a lot of these things I have in my stencil storage, I have them multi-labeled. Like maybe, for instance, like what Nadine is saying right now, this would be great, or Jen is saying this would be great on flowers. This would be great to do dandelions with, or if you're doing fairy cookies and you're doing that fairy in the jar, you could do these as dandelion heads off to the side, right? So lots of things like this that you can do. So start thinking outside the box. And when you put a stencil up, if you have stencil storage, make sure you label it. One of the things I like to do is include a Post-it note on the outside of where the stencil is. So like this for me is going to get filed in my 4th of July holiday section because I ordered it because I specifically needed this for fireworks. However, inside my little sleeve that I put this into to protect it, it's going to have additional notes in the upper right-hand corner, and I'm going to make notations for what else I saw when I got it in brand new so that I don't pigeonhole it and only look at it one way. So for me, this is going to be not just fireworks, but it's going to be really cool, like a sunburst. I could use this for a dandelion. I could use this for accenting a flower. Let's say I want to do some of that special piping with the 104 tip. This would be cool to do on the background behind it and then do smaller flower in here, right? Because you could do green. You could do green on a white background or dark green on a light green and then do your flower on top of that and then have a 3D flower, you know, like this. So you can build. Think about these things. Make notes when you first get it. Your brain is always really flying when you first get these in, and then you tend to use it for one certain thing and you can't see it another way. So go ahead and start that little trick on however you store these with the Post-it note and start writing out your ideas. I finally got this in because the hand piping is too much when you have to do a whole bunch of baseball cookies. But round cutter and this stencil, round cutter, either dip it in the white or do your outline and flood, let them set up. Then you can freeze them. Right? You could put them in the appropriate containers and freeze them if you have a big order coming up. And that's what tends to happen for the sports teams. They need a whole bunch and they need different sizes because they need the price really low. So you could get the cookie done ahead of time, the flooding done ahead of time, then freeze it. Then when you are a couple days before your order, pull that out, follow the thawing instructions so you do it properly. Once they're totally at room temperature, you can quickly come back and do your stitching with airbrushing. Do not airbrush and then freeze because the condensation will cause that to run. So hear me. Do not do it in that order. Okay. So make your cookies, flood them. Then you can freeze them. It'll help you get a little bit ahead if you need to. Then once you've thawed them, they've come to room temperature. Then you can come back and you can quickly knock out a very large order by just doing some airbrushing. You don't have to hand pipe all this and get your arcs exactly right and all that. Total time saver. Or if you really do want to pipe this, then come back and stencil this and just pipe over it so you don't have to hand sketch it, or you don't have to, mark the cookie and find all your little placement or whatever. A quick, very light stenciling will give you a template basically to work off of. And you could also, on these, you could do the scraping too if you want the dimension, but then that's going to lead to more time because you got to clean it. Here's the invoice. Let's see what that was. Okay, that was that first one. Oh, I do see it now. This was a 2-piece plaid stencil if anybody needs that for Christmas. Then I got the spider web. Then I got the shell. That's seashell stencil. Then this one is called Ornate Damask Stencil. It's 0437. This one is the real fancy one. And it looks like velvet wallpaper, doesn't it, Jen? All right. Then this one is the Countess Damask Stencil 0094. Okay, these were all on sale, you guys. Then we did Falling Round Confetti. I already told you what I'm going to use that for. Then we had our Fireworks Stencil, which we've already created 3 or 4 other uses for this just while we were on here chatting and watching comments. And then this, oh yeah, you could use this one for a leaf center line too. You absolutely could. Yep. So this is our baseball. Okay, now we're going to get into the really fun stuff. These are all great. I need all of them. I shouldn't say that. But really fun means it's like cranking in my brain right now. So you might want these. I'm just saying you might want these. They're not required for the Tiki Hot series, but you could make some cool add-on cookies. And I'll give you that information as we go along because I am going to be doing this on some plaque cookies. But look at this cool water. Can you see the water? So this stencil is great. So we're going to do this over a light blue background. We're going to do a medium blue spray or a dark blue spray. Then we're going to shift it a little and come back with a different color of blue so that it actually looks like the water is moving, right? Like it would in a pool or at the beach. So we'll be using this to create water. Okay, so much fun. I told you we're doing a very detailed, yeah, not required, but you'll be sad if you don't have them. Totally true, Jennifer. So we will be doing the Tiki Hot. So I thought this would be fun for an add-on cookie. I got the Aloha, right? So we can do that. I thought we'd do that on the water cookie. This is not going to be one of the particular ones that we're doing in the 2-part series on Tuesdays, but I am going to use this and show you some other just things you can do with basic cutters and add this to it, right? And then look, you know, we're doing 2. I don't want to tell you exactly what they are, but I did show you the outline. So let me just show you this and say no more. Okay. You see that? All the tiki torches. Okay. So if you saw the outline earlier, you can figure out what this might be handy for, either to mark your area by airbrushing so you can go back and hand stencil it, or if you just want to stencil on the area. Okay, so we got this. Not going to say anymore because I'm going to give it away and I don't want to give it away. Okay, and then look how cool. So this is how you can take a very detailed image and make it easy for yourself, because you can do a very light airbrushing with your tiki men onto at least one of these cookies, possibly 2. Mark your places, then you can pick your colors and you can pipe right on top of the stenciling, or you can just, if you just are like, wow, that's too hard, but I really want to do something to go because I bought the cutter set. So you could use this to just do your faces, okay? But we're actually gonna combine. This is gonna be, if you want to order these, you can, but we're gonna actually be doing it from Royal Icing Transfers as a way to get depth and dimension, because the tiki guy that we're going to do, we want him to look like he's sculpted. So we're going to be doing sculpting work on him and woodworking, a little bit of like woodworking detail to make a more lifted wood look. So we've got these tiki guys. I love them. They're so neat looking. Okay. And these are both very different faces from the face I designed. So it'll be nice add-on cookies. You could just use a rectangle and then lop a little bit off the edges to round it. And you could make add-on cookies, right? See how easy that would be to do? Just use rectangles to add on to these sets. So if you end up selling these sets and they're not just to get your creative juices flowing, then this would be a really easy thing to do that you can do with some bright neon airbrush color that will really make your items pop, okay? So is that everything? I don't know. Let me look. Let me just make sure. So you will be sad if you don't have Aloha, Tiki Head 1, Tiki Head 2, the water pattern, and I think that was it for, oh, and the torches. But if you're going to order, get a couple of things, you're already paying shipping. Just saying. I mean, totally, I'm fully disclosing. I get no commission from them. I'm totally being an enabler right now. But how fun is this? Watch for the next sale and grab these. We'll be using them towards the end of our series. But how fun was this? What a great find it was that day. all this info was shared in our group. Jen, if you want to drop the link in for the group, we are working towards getting towards 500 members. And when we get to 500 members, we will be giving away another free virtual class. We'll be doing a drawing from all the names that are in there, minus the people that already won. Now, did you see what I just did? I think this is pretty important. I don't have time tonight to unpackage these, get them into the proper sleeves, print my little labels, and get them into my stencil holder container that I keep all of these things in. So I'm putting them back in the envelope, because the way my brain works, I'm going to forget where these things are as soon as I need those tiki and torches if I haven't had time to put them up. I also don't normally order a whole bunch of stencils at once, because I like to get things in and get them cataloged and get them put up so that I can find them when I need them. I hate being busy and then I can't put my finger on the item or product I need in order to work on what I'm working on. So I'm probably very over vigilant about organization on things, but honestly, if you can't put your hands on them, you can't use them. And you've seen in the last 3 videos that I've done today, my little work area is 3 foot, and I will just barely move something out of the way so that I don't put my hand in it and I lose it in the 3 foot area. So you can only imagine what my store looks like. I'm like super, super organized, containers everywhere, labels, alphabetical, all that. But firm believer in using what you have and making what you have work if you don't want to buy new things, because you certainly don't need to buy all the things. Like, you don't need that little palm leaf thing from Killer Zebra. I just wanted to give you options if you're not comfortable piping royal icing transfers yet, where you can work that in. But honestly, that's going to allow me a little bit in the teeny tiny stuff. It's very hard to make those 3D pieces. Like, okay, so earlier I showed you this. Hopefully I won't break it while I'm reaching for it. In the video earlier tonight, remember we talked about doing these leaves and how you would, oh, I broke it. Oh, I knew it. I should have left it there. I'll have to replace that with one of the ones that's dry. If I hadn't moved it, it would have re-dried, but the moisture from this went up into the stamen and caused it to crack. Anyway, the point of that was I showed you how to make these. This is great when you're doing bigger pieces, but it's really hard to manipulate it when you're doing teeny tiny pieces. And that's when those fondant molds and chocolate molds come in handy. So don't worry, I will fix this before it sets up. I'm glad that happened while I was in here. I would be disappointed if I came back tomorrow and had to dig out the whole middle of that to take photos. It's okay, don't worry, Ira, I'll fix it. You'll see, it'll be good as new for tomorrow. No worries whatsoever. But thank you for coming back on tonight. You guys, make sure you visit the coffee shop and get your first set of royal icing transfer templates that go along with the Tiki Hot Summer series that we're doing. Also, make sure you visit the Dots and Bows and either get the STL downloads for your cookie cutters for the 7 specialty cutters that we're doing over the next 2 months, or buy the cutters already made. It'll be obviously cheaper if you're in the United States, because the shipping will be within the States. I'm not actually sure if, I'm guessing she ships to Canada if you really need her to ship to you, but it'll be cheaper if you just print the cutters, if you have the ability to do that. But get started on those, get your cutters ready to go. It's going to be a really fun time with Tiki Hot. I'm super excited about this set because it's all custom designs that I came up with. I was able to work an entire series for you where you're going to be using the same supplies going forward. So I'm not going to switch around on a bunch of different brands of colors. If you get that Chef Master neon set or you have another neon set, you're going to be set, because we're going to use that same color scheme all the way through, because you're going to learn a ton of techniques. You're going to revisit older techniques and maybe put a new spin on them. But you're going to come at the end with this whole highly detailed set that you're going to be so proud of, that you're going to want to photograph. You can make it your Christmas in July card if you want to. That would be so much fun to plan for that. But anyway, they're all going to coordinate. So we're not going to do totally different projects that don't link together. I think this is easier because there's just so much money going out of everybody's household in the summertime with kids camp and summer projects and vacations and all that. So I wanted to try to make it easy for you. So your supplies, I'll add a few things, maybe change a few things out each week, but your basic things like your airbrush color, your gel colors we're going to be using, the templates build even each week. So it's really going to be a nice set for you, and you're going to have something fun you can come back to that you can either make very basic if you need to put a bunch out really quick, or you can make it highly detailed. You know what I'd love to see at the end of this, for those of you that teach classes, I would love for you to take any piece out of here you want to and make it your own and teach a class with it. And then let's come back together and see everybody's work together and talk about how we did the different things that we did. And let's get some new techniques in our arsenal before we hit all of our big Christmas projects. I love it when people that teach can get together and talk and discuss things, because somebody will look at something and see it one way and another teacher will come at it. Like, let's say somebody that likes to do a lot of watercolor work is going to come look at the projects totally different than me. I like to mix a lot of multimedia on a cookie. And then I also like to find the line where it's too much or just right. Do you know what I'm saying? So I like to mix those things for visual interest, for texture, just to make it look like it's not a cookie. It's like, it's so much fun for me to take a cookie and make it into an actual item where it doesn't look like a cookie, so that people, they're so mesmerized. Like the fireplace I made last year at Christmas, and just adding that light up box that I found. It was a battery pack box that made my fireplace light up inside. It had twinkly lights to go behind my cookie. People were so mesmerized by that 3D fireplace, and it had stockings hanging on it. And then I had a 3D Christmas tree with it. They're like, "Are you sure that's cookies?" And I'm like, "Don't even think about touching that or taking the lid off the top," because I was afraid that, you know, the kids would like break something, and you know how much work those pieces are. But anyway, look outside the box. People that like to, have an art background are going to probably want to do more painting and shading and dry shadowing and things like that. People that like to sculpt are going to want to work in chocolate or fondant. And I want you to have the ideas for all those pieces and then pull something together that accentuates you as an artist. And let's come back together and put a whole collaboration together on this piece when we're done. I think it will be so fun to catalog this. And I'm so excited because the designs are all mine. It's fun. I've done several cutters at one time, but I've never designed a whole series at one time. So this has been a nice learning curve for me as well. And I hope that I will see you guys soon. Thank you for spending time with me tonight. And Cupcake out. See you later.